Testing, hot outbound count. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear? Lower your right shoulder. Go!
The Honeymooners Podcast. The only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fatts.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening, all you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Herman Grubers of the world? You're listening to the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal, Louis Fatts.
And may I say, this roast beef is a pleasant surprise.
The only discussion-based podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios in downtown Clifton, New Jersey.
Beautiful downtown.
Beautiful downtown. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts, and if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review. Our home base is the Non-Productive site. That's non-productive.com/honeymooners. And don't forget to like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook page. What's up, Lou?
Hey, Joe, back in studio.
Back in studio for number 40.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I think we already discussed it, but was very nervous about number 39.
Yeah.
And was pleasantly surprised on how well it turned out.
That's right. Something new and different.
And something new and different, yeah.
That's what people want.
Either it's Cran Mars or Cram Mars. I don't know which one that is, but everybody really, they were great.
Yes,
the
good
people
feedback.
that were live, all the feedback on emails and the podcast page on Facebook. So much fun. And you know what? A lot of people were like, they really enjoyed Frank. They thought Frank was perfect.
Good fit.
Right, for what we were doing.
It's our third stooge. He's great.
Yes. Yeah, he was Shemp, though.
Like Joe Besser.
Give you such a pinch. But it was so much fun, and after we did it and after the feedback, we kind of were like, you know what? We might do this a little more often.
Yeah.
You know, because in the beginning, we were like, all right, you know what? I mean, listen, I think I mentioned it. I was like, oh, if we don't do it, it's okay.
Yeah.
I was so nervous about it. Just the technical part and not being on point like we are sitting in studio like this and a little bit of delay. But it all worked out.
It worked out great.
And we thank everybody. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's getting some good amount of hits on YouTube and Facebook and also the regular podcast. So everybody out there, we thank you so much. We really, really appreciate it. The one thing, I didn't tell you I wanted to do, Lou, but before we get started, I wanted to just read one of the nice reviews that we got on iTunes.
Oh, okay.
And this is from Jay Barbero 44.
Okay.
We know who that is.
Right, yes.
It's not a Hanna-Barbera.
No.
It's our friend. It's Joe from, I think he's from Florida. I think he is. Or he's a Jersey guy.
He's a Jersey local guy. Jersey or Long Island guy. I get our people mixed up sometimes.
Yeah. I know. Imagine a guy named Joe from Long Island or New Jersey. Shocking.
Really shocking.
But he put something on iTunes, and I thought it was nice. He put, if you're a true fan of the Honeymooners, this show was for you. A lot of show clips, trivia, and fun-filled discussion regarding the classic 39 episode. Highly recommend.
Yes.
So thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate that. So we are going to get into episode 40. We're going to go a little different this time.
Get off our normal thing. We usually don't concentrate on an episode.
And you know what? When I came in here in the studio, I was prepared. I said, you know what? We're going to do. I got this. I know Louis got this and that. Well, Louis went to check out an episode because he was looking for something specific.
One thing.
You were looking for one thing.
Looking for one thing. So I go to Oh My Aching Back. I told Joe, I said, Joe, I went looking for one. I found 10 things. So Joe says, let's just
have fun. We got a couple of different clips, and we're going to mix in with a little bit of whatever happened to, maybe a Louis observation, a new flub, and just an old flub. Yeah, we're going to go. We're going to do some. We're going to go with a classic.
We're going to go to a classic.
We're going to go with a classic.
Yes. know you won't mind hearing it again.
No. Yeah, sometimes when the hits just keep on coming, you got to play the hits.
That's right.
So we're going to start with our Oh My Aching Back and just have fun with it.
Yep.
And specifically because we're going to play clips of it, but we're going to start out. Okay, let me get my glasses here, my cheaters. The very beginning.
Good place to start?
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
Beginning.
The very beginning, and we all know Oh My Aching Back. But
oh, God, great episode. Actually, Joe was my number 3 last week. When you asked for
That's
the top
right.
3,
Yes, it was your number 3.
I have 12 top 3. I have 12 in my third spot. I said, well, I'm going to go with Oh My Aching Back.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's what it was.
And listen.
Great. Now you'll convince everybody how great this is.
The one punchline, I think I mentioned in the very first episode, when he says 111 for the temperature, that was one of the things that drew me into the Honeymooners as a fan. You know, because I used to, that's cool. It was a cool show when I watch it on occasion. That
was your hook.
That was my hook.
Your hook.
Yep. Because that used to just make me laugh every single time.
Yes.
So we're going to start off with the very beginning, and we'll have a little fun because it's when Trixie comes down.
Yeah. Because
she's going on this lawn trip. All right. Here we go. We'll have a little. Let's start out in the beginning. This is how we do it. Here we go.
Alice? Rick? Yeah. You all set to go? Yeah. I'm waiting for my brother-in-law. He's going to pick me up. Oh, good. How long are you going to stay at your sister's? Oh, just till tomorrow afternoon. Say, Alice, I cleaned out my refrigerator, and it's defrosting now, and I was wondering if you'd go up tomorrow morning and turn it back on for me. Oh, sure. I'd ask Norton to do it for me, but every time he looks into an empty icebox, it makes him cry. Oh, look, I'll give you the key. Here it is.
There. I'll have Ed for dinner tomorrow night.
Oh, good.
I wish I could have him tonight, Trix, but we're going over to my mother's for supper. Oh. See, the whole family's gathering because my Uncle Leo's in town from Utica.
There we go.
Okay, here you go. Yeah, Joe.
All right, first of all, it's whatever day it is, and it's the evening.
Yeah.
And she's going to visit her brother. Is it brother or brother-in-law?
No, her sister.
Her sister, but her brother-in-law's picking her up.
Harvey's picking her up.
And she's got this giant suitcase like she's going to visit Tunisia.
Yeah.
And she'll be back in the afternoon.
Yeah, like
she's going to be there like 12 minutes.
Like you're going to bring your toothbrush and it in your pocket.
You know what? Don't even leave the suitcase in Harvey's car.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to go in and go, hey, is everybody good? Good. Can I get a Triscuit? All right. See you guys later. I got to go back home. She's like going on this
Turn my refrigerator on.
Yes. Like just this trip for nothing. No time at all.
No.
Like, and she's got a suitcase.
Suitcase is huge.
Yeah.
This thing is huge.
Yeah.
Like a real balige.
So that was our first little thing. But Louis noticed something. And you know what? Can this be a Louis' observation?
Guess so.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, look.
Throw it in there.
We could throw it in because
our whole show's an observation.
I mean, yeah, really. I mean, it is. But we might as well because we recognize the song somewhere.
It's like playing the song.
And now, from the observation deck overlooking the Johnson Building at 328 Chauncey Street, the Honeymooners podcast presents Louis' Observations.
Okay.
I actually enjoy this observation that you have.
This is the one with the back?
Yes.
Okay, all right, because I have 2 observations.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure which one the right one. Now, she says something about Ralph going bowling with his bad back?
Right, but no, this is when she says, when Alice says, I'm going to have Norton over for supper.
Oh, okay.
Now,
you know why I had this down as a flub, not as a
Yeah, I just realized it is.
Yeah,
no, this is my fault. This actually is kind of a script flub.
So
pretend you just heard flub of the week.
Flub of the week.
Right.
We have other flubs. So.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, Joe, this is the script flub.
Yes.
Now, she's going to her sister's, and she'll be back
in 10 minutes.
In 10 minutes. Like, get the suitcase, everything.
Get the bag.
Get the bag. Told Harvey didn't have to turn the car. Harvey, leave the car running.
Yeah,
I'm just going to run in, say hello to my sister, and go back
Exactly. Home. Yeah. I'm just going to go to Fried Tags, turn around and come back. I'll say I went to my sister's. Who cares?
So now Alice says to Trixie,
yes,
I'll have Ed over tomorrow night for supper.
Because they're going to her mother's.
Her mother's that
tonight.
night.
Right.
That night.
So apparently she doesn't care that Trixie will be back to have supper with her husband. She's going to steal him away
and have
Ed over for supper. Trixie, you stay upstairs.
Or
upstairs?
Or go back to your sister's for another 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Pack another suitcase.
So that's a script flub.
That's a script flub, yes.
Or as one of our listeners called it, a flubservation.
A flubservation. Yeah, do you remember who said that?
I don't remember, and I don't want to give credit to the wrong person.
Right.
You know who you are out there?
Yes.
Write us.
Yeah, let us know.
Write us.
We want to give you credit.
A nice long letter.
A flubservation. Yes, absolutely. Right. But yeah, so I thought it was a great, because I was the one that always said, like, she's gone for 7 hours, and she's got like a suitcase. Like, what'd you pack?
Yeah, really.
How big is your toothbrush? I mean, really, you could wear the same clothes back.
I mean, really, you're not going anywhere. You're only coming home.
Yeah, you got your nightgown.
That's it. That's all you need.
Unbelievable.
Oh, boy. That's just
Dusty on that hall. I'm ready for that now.
You beat me to it. Now, remember we covered one way back, a script flub. I believe it was one when he was selling the irons.
Yes.
That was a script flub.
Yes.
And this was another script flub.
Right. This one's not as massive a hole in the script.
No.
That the other one was. That was when he asked his boss. He was going to put the squeeze play on his boss.
And Alice said something.
And Alice was, in other words, he didn't tell his boss how he got fired.
Right.
He didn't tell Alice how he got fired.
And
she just knew.
Yeah.
Right. That was our
real
script flub. And this is a script flub, too, because I'm going to have Ed over for, why even mention it? It doesn't even make any sense. I guess because of the food thing. Yeah. She mentions the icebox.
That's what it's all about. It's about the icebox being turned off.
Right.
So she's defrosting it.
Right.
Which you had to do back those days. You had to defrost the refrigerator.
And you think about it, it also ties in with him wanting to be, him being hungry. Can I have something to get out of the fridge?
It's that whole thing.
The sleepwalking and then the fried chicken.
Yeah.
So even though we break their chops about it, but you see why they did it.
Circle.
Right.
Everything comes full circle.
It always comes full circle, but the circle has a bunch of holes in it. It doesn't look like a circle anymore. It looks like a U for Utica.
Hold that one.
So, and now as we continue into the episode, we get to the part when Ed is trying to convince Ralph to go bowling.
Right.
Because Ralph got in trouble with Alice, and he's still going to stay home. And we'll go with that.
Ralph, listen to me, Ralph. You got to play with us. Schultz can't bowl tonight. He's got to work tonight. There's not a guy in the club that can bowl over 100. Come on. I am not going. Come on. Well, I'm not saying you should, Ralph, because if you're not going bowling, I think you probably got a very good reason for not going.
I have a great reason for not going, and I'm not going.
I'm sure you have got a good reason. Well, I guess that we just have to face it. Without you bowling tonight, we're going to get beat.
Well, you'll just have to get beat, that's all.
That's all.
Well, I guess it ain't the end of the world.
Nope.
Fellas will get over their disappointment sooner or later. I tell them that the reason you're not bowling is that you just made up your mind not to go bowling. That it's got nothing to do with Alice, that you're not afraid of her. Because I happen to know that you're not afraid of Alice.
Who died and made you boss?
That you just made a decision, and a man of your caliber. When he makes a decision, nothing in this world or nobody can change it. Eddie Malloy's bride-to-be is going to be there tonight. Of course, the wedding may not come off when she sees the shellacking he's going to get. Herman Gruber has set up a nice victory feed for us.
Mm-hmm. Remember
Three kinds of pizza.
3 kinds of pizza. Huh?
Pig's knuckles of sauerkraut. And that Neapolitan knockwurst that you like so much. Well, I guess he'll be able to unload that on a Bayonne bunch. Freddie's going to take it tough, too. His 73-year-old mother is coming over from Canarsie. It's a shame that she has to see a boy get beat. Well, you made up your mind not to go bowling, and that's it. I guess you can't win them all. So long, pal.
Okay. First of all,
there's many things going on there.
Let me start this. Then you can continue, Lou. What shallow woman is going to not marry a man because he lost a bowling tournament? I mean, really?
She's probably going to go hook up with somebody from the Bayonne team.
From the Bayonne team. I mean, listen, they're probably going to have the spread, right? They're going to have to unload the spread to the Bayonne. So she'll be able to get 3 different types of pizzas. Maybe she likes the Neapolitan not worse, as much as Ralph does. I mean,
pig's knuckles and sauerkraut.
Just ridiculous. And then Freddie Muller's
mother.
73-year-old woman.
Coming from all the way from Canazzi.
From Canazzi. To watch her son bowl. I mean, really. She could be knitting or watch. Maybe she couldn't watch television. Maybe she didn't have television.
Watching Perry Como.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Because Perry Como was probably beating him in the ratings by then.
She was kicking him.
But yeah, that's the first time I noticed when he goes, they'll probably unload it on the Bayonne bunch.
Yeah.
So in other words, they're going to get the spread. Isn't that kind of what he said?
No, but basically he's saying if they lose,
right?
Because he says that Herman Gruber puts out a victory, kind of like a victory spread,
right?
So he said, "Well, I guess we can unlook about." Now you're thinking that they're going to lose,
right?
Because Ralph's not there,
right?
Well, Ralph will lose, and then he said we could unload it on. I guess what they charge him.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you know what? You could still eat. You know what I mean? You lost, but you could still eat. I mean, it may not be as joyous of an occasion, but what are you gonna do? Be like, oh, you guys won. Go ahead. Yeah, we're gonna go buy something. You know what I mean? We're gonna go to a burger joint. I just noticed that now that he said that. I'll have to unload it with the Bayonne punch. But yeah, and then wait a minute. No, we'll talk about the spread a little bit later.
Later, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Now we have to go with number 3.
Okay.
Number 3 because it's one of the jokes that got me, like we just said, got me into this Honeymooners.
It's iconic.
Yeah. My head's red hot, my feet are ice cold. You know what it is to have a hot head and cold feet?
I know how it is. I get that way any August day in the sewer when it's high tide. Out up here, going down there.
Good joke. It is. Clever.
Just take it easy. Take it easy.
Clever
You're all
joke.
overworked from excitement and shock.
I don't feel good, Norton. I'm burning up.
Hey, I'll take your temperature. You got a thermometer?
Yeah, it's in the drawer.
It's in the
Joe, where's the thermometer?
I think it's in the top hand dress pan drawer.
No way. Come on.
I think it was in the top hand dress pan drawer.
Right there in the middle. You open the drawer, boom, there
right
it was.
there, exactly.
You have to go looking for it, like the flashlight or the...
It's in the thing with the thing
away from tomorrow. Whatever.
When I take this temperature, when you find out you ain't got no fever, then your mind will be relieved. Because if you haven't got no temperature, then nothing's wrong with you. Wait a minute.
And he plays doctor.
on,
for
yeah.
the second time when he puts his hands up.
Yep.
Brilliant.
Yep.
There
It's
he
that
goes.
sterile thing.
Sterile thing. Yeah. Just the man was brilliant.
Just hold it there. That's it. And all a little while.
Now you do notice
Hold it there in your mouth.
he's a little hungry.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to go in the fridge.
Yep.
I'm just a little hungry, Ralph, that's all.
Just a little hungry.
How can you eat when I'm in dire pain like this?
Don't get excited, will you? Let me find out if you got a fever. If you don't have a fever, then your mind will be relieved. We'll put the heating pad on just like the doc says. You'll be all right in the morning. You'll be your own fat, jolly self. You see.
Where does the temperature come in with a wrenched
Well,
back?
what is it,
don't
Norton?
know.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to see it in the
Don't
light. I
know.
gotta find that little red line.
I hurt my back. Check
Wait a
my
minute.
temperature.
Okay.
And of course, he's using the lighter.
The lighter. We all know. We all know the
yeah,
scene.
of course.
It's a phenomenal scene.
Hey, Ralph, what's the normal temperature? Around 98, eh?
98.6.
What would you say a bad temperature
Bad
is?
temperature. Yeah.
102, 103. What is it, Norton? What is my temperature? What's my temperature, Norton? 111.
absolutely
The audience
brilliant.
reaction, Joe.
They're just dying.
They're screaming.
They're screaming. And we were talking about this. 111
Yes.
is perfect.
The perfect number. Now,
Because 110 would
Don't-
definitely not work.
Not work.
109? No.
No.
108?
No.
Maybe 107, but the thing about 107,
it sounds like 11.
and
But it's
also-
really not that high.
I mean, it's
high. It'll kill you.
but it's not exaggerated.
Exaggerated
to a
high,
point.
yes.
Because if you go 112, the number 12,
the 12
doesn't
don't
do it.
it.
Doesn't do
We were
it.
talking. We discussed this. We're saying that number 111. Now I don't know if we're so trained. Our ear is so trained for 111. But when we did what we did, we took all the numbers and we said them back and forth to each other, and we're saying nothing works like 111.
And even
it's
though
3 syllables, and it flows.
And it's a smooth word.
Yes.
111. 11. It's a smooth word.
Yep.
And like I've always learned that in certain punchlines, there's usually a lot of words that have that hard K, that strong, hard. It's like a German sound, that German K. That usually is very good for punchlines. It's not that.
Not that.
And it works
perfectly.
111.
111.
111. And then you throw in the brilliant Art Carney
Carney's
crying and blurting it out, upset, makes it so, I hate to use the word, iconic.
Use it.
But it is. Drink up, people.
Drink up.
We used the word iconic twice
That's
already
right.
in this episode. But of course, yes, 111. 111.
Perfect.
Not even 100. If he would have said 100, he said 111.
Yeah.
111, it would have been a little too much.
Yep.
It was just Art Carney at his usual best. Absolutely.
That Brooklyn-ese in there.
Yeah.
111.
111.
100.
100. Yeah. 100. 111. Just beautiful.
Beautiful. Perfect.
Absolutely.
It just shows full of perfections.
Yeah.
That is one of the perfect
Absolutely.
things. And
Absolutely.
it's the iconic thing again. It's what everybody knows. 111. It's like the Mambo. Harvey.
Yeah.
This is one of them. It's one of those lines.
It's one of those numbers that
111.
everybody knows.
You just know what everybody
you
knows.
see it in the Facebook group. Somebody had put, they would put, they saw like an address and it was 111.
111.
And they would
They
just
post
put it
it.
in the post.
Post it,
Yeah.
yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
and most people would be like, well, what has that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
No. 111,
111,
39.
9, yeah.
There are just certain
Just
numbers.
certain numbers that have a meaning.
328.
328,
They
yep.
have a meaning.
And
Exactly.
111 is one of them.
111 is
Not
one.
111. 111.
All right. All right. So now we're going to go into our fourth part, and this part is an actual.
And now, the Honeymooners podcast presents
It's not in the top hand drawer.
This is always funny.
the Flub of the Week.
This is always funny. Now, this Flub of the Week, because we're doing a little different show.
Yeah.
This is there's a flub in here, but it's a little bit of a scene.
Yeah.
So we're going to play it, and then you'll hear
it.
when the flub comes in. All right. Here we go.
I'm sorry. You got that! You're going to be all right now. Put the heating pad on. You'll be just as good as new, just like the doc said.
I can't put any heating pad on. If Alice sees a heating pad, she'll know I've been bowling. I gotta do something, Norton.
Hey, wait a minute. I think I got an idea. Trixie's away overnight. Come up to my place. Be my guest. You can have the heating pad on all night.
What excuse am I gonna give Alice for staying up there all night? Wait a minute.
What?
Does Alice know that Trixie's away?
Oh, yeah, sure.
She knows that you're all alone?
Yeah.
Remember that sleepwalking attack you had?
Yeah, so what?
Alice still remembers that. Now look, as soon as Alice gets home, you'll be upstairs. You come down here like you're walking in your sleep, see?
Yeah.
I'll say to Alice, isn't that a shame? Trixie isn't home. He's all alone. He's liable to kill himself, walk off a building or something. Then I'll say, I better go upstairs with him and keep an eye on him all night. And in that way, we can put the sleeping pad on and everything will be all right.
And there you go.
That's it. It's small.
It's a small flub, and you know why he said it. It's not a sleeping pad.
Yeah.
It's a heating pad.
Which he said heating pad.
He said heating pad, but you know why he said sleeping pad? Because he's thinking sleepwalking.
Sleeping, and he has to go upstairs and sleep with him.
Well, no, because he said, he goes, you're sleepwalking
Walking
thing.
attack, yeah.
And now when he said heating pad,
he's got
sleeping pad. So, so what is that? Is that some sort of special pad you sleep on that makes you sleepy, goody? Like a good little boy? And then when you know what was cool about his little speech right there is it almost sounds like, it doesn't sound like Ralph Cramden right there. He sounds like Gleason.
Yeah.
When he's being very calm.
Yeah.
He's like, and get the sleeping pad.
Yeah.
And you get it all done right.
Right.
Like, I'm sitting there going, this almost sounds like an interview with Gleason.
Because notice too, he's actually calm and logical.
Yes.
Which is normally, like we say, is not Ralph Cramden. He's up screaming and yelling, and you know,
and
what are we going to, like you scream, like,
right.
what are we going to do? What are we going to do? You know, come up with some stupid, crazy, harebrained scheme.
This
but
isn't
here
one.
is no, it's
this
not
is
one.
not a harebrained scheme. This is something that Gleason would have thought of.
He actually thought this out.
Yeah,
level-headed.
Yes,
and it's actually a good idea.
And it's a
perfect
brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It would have worked if
Yeah.
Fred and
If
Charlie
didn't show up.
But I'll play it real quick at the end. It's one of the last things, but we'll let you hear it again. And it's
Stairs with him and keep an eye on him all night. And in that way, we can put the sleeping pad on, and everything will be all right.
sleeping pad.
And I guess
He makes
and
you
I'll take your temperature will go down.
It's a sleeping pad. It'll make my temperature go back down to 98.6.
from 111.
So now we're going to go to our next segment of the episode, which is it's a continuation of what we just did. We're just putting this because we just want to hear this.
Yeah,
we just have
God,
to.
you have to.
You just have to.
If you're in this episode, you just gotta play it.
You just have to play it. I mean, we're not playing the whole exact thing.
No, but
just
enough. People know.
Yep, and here it is.
I sure hope he isn't. I'd hate to leave town without seeing Ralph.
Now that your troubles are almost over, do you mind if I make a small withdrawal from the icebox?
What the hell happened?
You missed it. It skipped.
What did?
Oh,
Troubles are almost over. Do you mind if I make a small...
it skipped.
I don't know what happened.
I think you cut it.
Well, I'm just gonna have to go and get this thing and play it.
And
Hold
find
on.
it. You have to.
Yeah.
Leo to drive me home so he can see you.
There we go.
Here it is.
Oh, Ralph, you're still up.
You're still up.
Look who's here. Uncle Leo.
Like she had to introduce him.
Leo.
Like Ralph didn't see him.
He
Just look out. Look who's here. Uncle Leo. Uncle Leo. Okay.
Ralph, it's good to see
Look, it's Uncle Leo. You know, my father's brother.
You know.
We've only seen him 8,000 times. Every Christmas, he gives us $25.
Wasn't it nice of Uncle Leo to drive me home so he could see you?
Just great.
When was the last time I saw you, Ralph?
Oh, about a year ago.
You haven't changed a bit. No, sir. Still the same old Ralph. It's good to see you.
I mean, they are losing their mind in
Yes,
the
the audience is going
And
crazy.
now, wait a minute. That thing that you said you
Now,
hear
remember,
Alice.
You kids have got to come
We'll
up.
play it real quick.
Yeah, it sounds like she's saying in
It
the
sounds
background,
like
she's
she
saying,
says,
"Hey."
Unless it's somebody in the audience, but it
audience,
sounds, like
her
Audrey
voice,
Meadows.
yeah.
Listen.
Yeah.
Ralph, wasn't it nice of Uncle Leo to drive me home so he could see you?
Just great.
When was the last
There we
time
go.
I saw you, Ralph?
Yeah.
Oh, about a year ago.
You haven't changed a bit. No, sir. Still the same old Ralph. It's good to see you.
Hey,
Right there.
Right? Hey.
Hey. I don't know
Now
where that comes from.
remember, you kids have got to come up to Utica sometime around Christmas, and Sarah will just love to have you. Well, good night, Alice. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Uncle Leo.
Yeah, I'll go after Leo. You got a 4-hour trip back up to Utica.
I know. In like a 10,000-pound Edsel. And then Audrey comes, Alice comes in with a
what
great
happened?
line.
Baby, nothing. I was just yawning.
Yawning.
tired.
Sounded like feeding time at the zoo.
Oh, what a great line.
Great line.
I think we had one of her best lines,
Yes,
right?
that was one of our best lines. Yeah. One of our top 5.
I'd like to check on the weather a little bit.
Check on the weather
a
little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah, I want to see if it's raining out tonight.
He could have asked her.
Miss Alice, she just came in.
She just came in.
Paper said it might rain.
Paper said it might rain. Let me ask my wife.
Whoa, it certainly looks like rain tonight.
Well, Ralph, now that the whole neighborhood knows that it looks like rain,
Great
what
lines
do
in
you
this.
say we go to bed?
Great lines in this.
All right, I'll be right in.
So
You have to get up early in the morning, you know. You got to take that exam.
What a this is so absolutely great.
Now that we're tearing this episode apart.
Yeah.
It's filled with greatness.
Yeah.
Lines, situations, flow. It's got a really great flow to it. It's like Palomine. It has that. There's no lull in anything. It just goes constantly, scene to scene to scene.
Palomine, and Here Comes the Bride, and both of them we kind of did this.
Yeah, we did.
went
Actually,
through the whole thing.
We actually did.
And once we dissected or go through it, we realized it's just because, like we always said, you're watching it because you've watched it 1,000 times. You're like, oh, this is a great episode, and you know the funny parts, and you know it. But when you're watching and you're looking at it in the way we're doing and the way the lunatics that listen to this podcast do, then you realize you're like, oh my, like. I would have never thought Palomine was this just monster, just ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. It just goes. And we mentioned with Here Comes the Bride how Gleason was on fire.
Oh, he was on fire. That was him.
Line after line after line.
He
was just
carried
killing
that
it.
himself.
Yes, absolutely. And now with this one, we're realizing it just goes. And it's got everybody in it.
Yeah.
And you've got a little Freddie Muller. You got
Uncle
a little
Leo.
an Uncle Leo, a Charlie.
Trixie's got a nice part in it.
Trixie's got a nice part in it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're realizing that this is another one. You don't realize it maybe until you start to dig.
So that's what it's all. That's basically what this is.
Yeah.
You're digging and you're looking for the littlest thing, and we're finding them.
Absolutely.
You look for them, you'll find it.
Yes. See, now the thing is, I thought this last part here was the part with Uncle Leo, but it didn't sound like it was. But let me see. Let's just play it anyway, because who knows? We'll just have some fun with it.
Isn't that? I hate to leave town without seeing Ralph.
Because then all of a sudden it went to something else.
Yeah, it went to something else.
Now that your troubles are almost over, do you mind if I make a small withdrawal from the icebox?
I certainly do. I don't want you to go near that icebox. Now, will you get upstairs?
Oliver Hardy line. I certainly do.
He uses that a lot.
Yes.
I want to talk about that one day.
I'll see if Ralph.
Oh, okay. Then it goes into
Then
Uncle Leo.
Uncle Leo.
Okay. So now part 6, last part of this. This is the end.
6
And-
parts?
6 parts. Yeah. It's Leonard, part 6. It's the Bill Cosby movie. Part 6 is the end when Trixie comes back in.
Yes.
And this is more of a, I don't know, this could be.
It's just an observation.
Yeah,
it's just a
casual
talking point. It's
talking
basically
point.
a talking
Yeah.
point. We'll just call it a talking point. We don't have to title
And it's funny. It's funny. It's a great. It's one of Louis' little things that he noticed, and I love the subtlety of it. Here we go.
Oh, hiya, Trix. Did you have a good time at your sister's?
Oh, wonderful, Alice. Tell me, did you finally get Ralph to go to your mother's with you?
No, I didn't. He wanted to stay home and get a good night's sleep because he had to take a company physical this morning.
Well, that's sensible.
That's sensible.
Yes, but you know what I found out?
Huh?
He was planning to sneak out and go bowling last night.
I mean, he was going to go bowling before his physical with his bad back?
That's right. But as soon as I found out, I put my foot down and I said, you just stay home.
Well, that's what you got to do, Alice. Believe me, these men we're married to. You just got to treat them like children.
Okay, let's hold it for a second.
Yeah,
we can play the rest, but go ahead.
All right, we're talking about that. Trixie just comes out and blurts this out like he went bowling with his bad back.
Yeah, like
they bowl twice a week for the last 15 years. All of a sudden, it's like this big event, like he was bungee jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean,
yeah, exactly. I know.
And it's also a tournament, so this has been going on.
Right, exactly.
It's not that it's your casual Thursday night bowling night or Tuesday night.
Right.
This is a tournament that's been going on between the Raccoon Lodge. We don't know how many branches the Raccoon Lodge has. We know there's Bayonne because that's mentioned several times.
Yes, mentioned several times. Yeah, Bayonne seems to be the, it's almost like,
the final four. Who was the other one? Like Weehawken and Jersey City.
Bayonne, Weehawken, Jersey City, and Bensonhurst.
The final four.
Those are the final four. Yeah. But it's just great how she instantly, first thing, boom. He's gonna be bowling with his backpack.
His backpack? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah,
that makes absolutely no sense for her to say that line right there.
He goes bowling every Thursday night.
This is what I say. They probably go twice a week.
Yeah, twice a week they go bowling. But now all of a sudden it's ridiculous for him.
Like he's got a bad back and going bowling?
Yeah.
Okay, Trix.
Let's continue.
I know. Yeah. Come in.
Hi, Alice.
Hiya, Fred.
Oh, Trix, how are you?
Hi.
Ralph here?
Ralph? No, he's not home from work yet.
But then he was able to go to work today, huh?
Oh, of course.
Oh, his back must be better, huh?
His back?
Yeah, when we left him last night, his back was hurting him so much, we thought maybe he couldn't go to work today. Alice, you should really be proud of him. Without him, we couldn't have won that bowling tournament last night.
The bowling tournament?
Sure. As a matter of fact, Alice, that's why we came over here. Tell her, Charlie.
Well, Mrs. Cramden, would you tell Ralph that on behalf of the Raccoons, we'd like to offer him this Player of the Year trophy for his outstanding achievement in last night's tournament. Boy, I'd like to see the expression on his face when he sees this, huh?
Yeah. Oh, Alice, as soon as he comes home, will you be sure he gets it?
Oh, he'll get it all right.
It's a great line. Great line. Absolutely.
Kind of similar to Alice in the Blonde line. She used that similar line.
Yep. So,
something I'd love to give him, yeah.
And this is how we want to finish this piece of this. And all I'm going to do is play the intro, and I'm going to let Louie take over. And it is, where is it? Here we go.
The Honeymooners podcast presents Whatever Happened To. The boys go deep into their shallow minds and try to imagine what would have happened to certain situations in the show if the episode had a to be continued or a part 2. Yeah, I know. Joe and Louie need real jobs. And now here's Whatever Happened To.
Oh, the great Joe Fernandez.
Joe Fernandez. Yes.
Now this is just this is
part
less
of our
about
team.
This is less about it being
not a continuation.
But this is more of a whatever happened to observation type of thing.
Yeah, like whatever happened to something in that episode.
Yeah.
That just petered out by the end, like the 25th minute.
Yeah. So in the third piece that we played, in the third piece of our little orchestra,
piece,
of our 6-piece, yes, which
Opus 3,
yeah. We were playing how he was trying to convince Ralph to go bowling. Yeah, convincing him with all the food.
Right, he sucked him in
with Herman Gruber, who we mentioned in the beginning of the episode.
Joe mentioned him in the beginning.
Was going to have a nice spread for them.
Yes, yeah, a victory spread.
Victory spread.
So,
Lou, where's your? The question is, Lou, go ahead.
Whatever happened to
the victory spread? I mean, really, they won.
They won. We know they won.
They won
because they came with the trophy.
Now Ralph had to get home quick,
right?
But there's a spread right
There's
there.
There's a spread. I don't care how hurt Ralph is. And he's not passing up pig knuckles and sauerkraut
on pizza. Unbelievable.
or three kinds of pizza, and Neapolitan operas, which does not exist.
And Norton wouldn't have passed up on it either.
Yes.
When he got back, he was starving
because there's nothing upstairs. Because Trixie was defrosting the refrigerator.
And apparently, they didn't stop for the victory feast at all.
No, they didn't. So poor Herman Gruber had to unload it on the Bayonne bunch.
On the Bayonne, even though they lost.
So that's whatever happened, Joe. Oh, here's another thing, Joe, we were talking about before. I don't know if it's got anything to do with this. But just being Ralph with his injured back, like, all right, they won the tournament.
Right.
He got the MVP, whatever he called it. When did he get hurt?
Yeah, when did it actually happen?
Did it happen in the second frame of the first game?
Yeah.
I doubt that.
I don't think so.
They would have lost.
He would have lost.
They would have lost.
So what was it, like right after he finished?
I don't
was he leaning over to grab some Neapolitan
knockwurst?
knockwurst?
That's when he got hurt.
That's when he got hurt, and they had to bring him home. It just doesn't make any sense.
Which makes it a great episode because nothing makes sense. It's like
And
Trapped.
Yeah,
Nothing
of it makes any sense, and it's perfect. And you know what? Are we going to do a trivia?
I got one if you want one.
You know what? Real quick, I just want to mention something.
Oh, okay.
I told you I went on YouTube, and there was a channel that I think I subscribed to, where it comes up on my feed.
Right.
And they did the top 41 sitcoms of all time. All right? Mm-hmm. I'll just tell you this: 3 things. 1, All in the Family was number 30. Okay, which is ridiculous. And Odd Couple and Honeymooners, not on it.
No,
I was
way.
like that. And in the top 10, the only ones in the top 10 that I thought were worthy was The Jeffersons and Cheers. The rest of
Cheers
them, I didn't understand it. Didn't understand it.
I mean, to me, if the Jeffersons are there, All in the Family's got to be there because it's the same basic show. It's
absolutely.
The same show.
Yeah. You know,
Cheers, I could see who's else there. I guess Seinfeld and
but I don't.
I Love Lucy. Or
yeah, that's right. I Love Lucy was also in the top 10, but I think it was I Love Lucy. Cheers was actually number 1. I didn't have a problem with that. I mean, but how do you not include the Odd Couple and the Honeymooners?
Come on,
and All in the Family is 30.
30? Come on,
stop.
No way. No way.
That really grinded my gears, as Peter Griffin says. But let's finish up. We did definitely. Oh, let me see, dude. I think we did a very long episode.
Yeah, that's okay.
Ooh, yeah, 40 minutes.
Oh, cool.
That's all right.
That's all right.
But we're gonna go with a trivia question.
Yeah, we'll go with an easy one, Joe. Just go in and out, and we'll see if you can get this one.
Let me see. Hold on a second. And do you have the trivia?
Yeah, I got a real easy one here for you.
Got a trivia here. Where is the?
Dun, 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 Trivia. Thank you, Tom.
Play it again, Jose.
All right, Joe. The raccoon. What's actually not. I guess you can call it the. I guess you call it a convention. It was the convention. Remember when they were voting and convention manager and McGillicuddy?
Okay, right.
What town was the convention held in?
No.
What city? Remember, they were going to send them. They were going to send them to the city, and he gets to drive a car, and blah, blah, blah.
Because I know where they went to the Raccoons convention. That was Minneapolis.
That was Minneapolis. This was the other one.
This is the other one
when
he becomes a convention manager. He gets a car.
Ride around it.
I'm thinking Bismarck, North Dakota. No. That's a different type of a car.
That's after the convention.
That would be a different type. Oh my goodness, dude! I'm flaking out.
Are you?
Yeah. Can you give me a hint? Like a logic,
the Windy City.
Is it Chicago?
Yes.
He said Chicago. For some reason, I was thinking Chicago, but I said, no, it can't be.
Yeah, it was. It was Chicago.
It was Chicago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Well.
So Gary and Norm are going to to be pissed at you.
Yeah, I know.
We're not getting their town.
I'm sure Ira will find a reason to be mad at me. It's unbelievable. Gotta love these guys that are like, they're just real great supporters.
Oh, they're great supporters. We
really
love
are.
everything they do. It's funny stuff.
It's
funny
great.
stuff we hear from them, and
the ideas.
Yeah, ideas.
And we have so many different things we want to do. And we're actually going to be doing the Crammed into the Future.
Yeah, we are.
We were going to do one today, but then we got bamboozled. Louis bamboozled me with "Oh My Aching Back."
Oh My Aching Back.
Yeah. Oh My Aching Hand from doing all the writing here today. All right. Well, listen, everybody. Thank you for giving us a listen. Tell your friends about this show. If you want to get them and try to get them to check out the show, they can either check out a podcast or go on YouTube. We got like 2 or 3 different videos, along with the epic number 39.
39, yep, is on there, yeah.
But definitely give that a listen. And, of course, we want to thank some of the Honeymooners group, especially the Honeymooners Raccoon Lodge. with Joy and Brother Norton.
Great.
And Brother Norton's got his podcast, the Honeymooners Trivia Podcast, and he's also got the Honeymooners Thursday Trivia Podcast, which is like a very short. He does like 1 or 2 quick questions. And also give my show, my other show, a listen to. It's a Conti Kenny show. We're on every Monday night, 7 o'clock on More Like Radio. I got a comedy DVD, CD that you can just download. You can get it on like any of the different places. It's called Happiness. And I think that is it, right?
Oh, that's it.
That is it.
That's it.
Well, thank you everybody so much. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Night all.
Good night.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Good night. We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.